All right. On to the next one. We've got Howling 2. Your sister is a werewolf.
They say the thing in the movie.
Several
many
times.
times.
Several times.
From 1985. A man discovers that his sister, guess,
was a werewolf.
You want to know who? His sister was the fucking Dee Wallace character from the first movie.
Yeah, that was awkward the way they presented that, but we'll
But
get
when
into
they-
that later, I guess.
Did she
I had
get
to look it
buried
up.
did she get buried in another country?
I don't think so. It was just a different. It was like Oregon, but like, yeah, it was weird. It did feel like a weird place, but like, it was just so weird that they were like, "This is her," and they showed
I
the
know.
newscast, and it was like, "What
It
was that?"
totally
werewolf
different
suit?
scene, different werewolf suit. Yeah,
It looked like a
Pretty
Sesame
bad.
Street werewolf. It looked like a
pretty
Muppet
bad.
getting shot. Like somebody shot Elmo on the fucking news.
Oh no! Don't shoot Elmo or the Count. 1, a 2, a 3.
3 silver bullets. So a man discovers that his sister is a werewolf and helps an investigator track down a gang of the monsters through the United States and Eastern Europe. Director is Felipe Mora, also known for I Was a Communist Werewolf and Pterodactyl Woman of Beverly Hills.
Oh, he's got a whole thing going.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Writers are Gary Brander and Robert Sarno.
The
Sybil
guy
Dan.
that wrote the Howling books actually helped with the screenplay for this. So-
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. Sybil Danning was tired of having to go topless or nude so often in her movies and wanted to remain clothed for this one.
She had some assets to. I understand why people were in demand of that.
Yeah, you paid for them. Let's go. The producers disagreed, but in the end, a compromise was reached, where Danning would do a single topless shot.
Okay.
She was very
One
angry.
time, right? And that's it.
She was very angry on watching the finished film to find that the ending credits featured this shot no less than 17 times.
It's like a smash cut of her ripping her shirt off over and over and over again. It's glorious. It's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty good.
Director Felipe Mora didn't know that Sir Christopher Lee was a war hero in Czechoslovakia. This was not something he was allowed to talk about. But during World War II, he was part of an intelligence agency, so when they showed up to film this movie in Czechoslovakia, he was greeted with a hero's welcome at the airport when they arrived. That's when Felipe first found out about his past, how he had been involved with the killing of one of the top Nazi officials, Reinhard Heydrich, and everything. Felipe couldn't believe it. One day, he took Felipe to Prague to visit a church. He remembers Sir Christopher Lee saying, "Dear boy, please come with me and let me tell you about what I've seen." And he took Felipe inside the basement and proceeded to tell him a story about how this was a place where people had been trapped by the Nazis, and some very terrible things occurred here. It was such a profound moment for Felipe because he realized just from where Christopher's gravitas came from. He had seen true horror firsthand in his life, and he used that in his performances. He was also a Nazi hunter for a couple of years after World War II. Christopher lived such an intriguing and complicated life, and most people don't have any idea who he was beyond being such an iconic actor.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
All hail Christopher Lee, man.
Yeah.
And he's a heavy metal enthusiast. So
Oh, really?
you get
I didn't know that.
too. Yeah.
Cool guy. All right, Steve, what'd you think about The Howling 2?
That's not a good one. It's not a good movie. It's poorly acted, poorly paced. The werewolves are shit. You don't even really get to see werewolves. You get to see like the face of one kind of rolling around.
Right?
There's a lot of ladies.
There's
going,
werewolves fucking.
like, there's a lot of like people like stretching their hands out and like growling like at the screen, but like not a lot of anything else. There's a lot of weird sex scenes of guys just going like, there's a lot of that shit. Sybil Danny's walking around in some cool fucking outfits, like Mad Max outfits that I don't really know, and she's like, but like it's like it cuts to like Christopher Lee and these people doing some shit, and then it cuts back to Sybil Danny like watching all these weird half people like rolling around with each other, like moaning, and then she's
there's
like,
like a weird orgy scene.
like
There's
that
this.
in
and she's like, Stefan is coming to stop us. He can't stop us. I'm like, stop what? What are you even doing? You're just fucking rolling around. You're just
That
hanging out
one
in this
guy's
house.
doing a handstand in the background.
I
was
noticed
like,
that.
what
Did
the
you
fuck is
notice
he
that?
doing?
Like all these people are going around. There's this two legs fucking kicking in the air. What the fuck? It is. You got Christopher Lee in some weird ass like Neo Matrix glasses, hanging out in the dance club. Like this movie is all over the
With
place.
the same new wave band playing the same song.
The same
over
song
and over
over
and
and
over and over.
That was yeah.
There's
He was the guy that did the music for the movie, obviously.
You know what there is?
They paid for that music.
Mhm.
They're going to use
and
it.
you know what there is in this movie, Lance? You know what there is in this movie, and it fit right
What's
into
that?
the timeline. Was a fucking midget running around doing some shit.
And yes.
And then he was evil. He came back and he was like, "Hey, Stefan, hey!" Like, that shit was creepy as shit.
Oh, after his eyeballs exploded out his head.
A werewolf movie. A werewolf movie. This is not a weird ass movie. This very much is. I didn't like it very much though. There's some fun to be had, but it's just kind of a weird all over. It just threw a bunch of shit at the wall and to see what would stick, and just not much did. So there's my 2 cents.
Brian, what'd you think?
Fucking love this movie. This movie's so fucking weird.
It's crazy.
All the characters are weird. Everybody's fucking all the time. Or I guess they're fucking because they're laying in bed going. Christopher Lee.
They're like fake biting each other, like.
Right? Nibbling.
The one guy, the werewolf powers are, I guess the mythology is weird in this one because Sybil Danny.
Homegirl's got Sith powers.
Yeah, she's got Sith powers. The main guy that she's having him fuck her daughter, the other hot werewolf chick. He has the ability to smell people fucking because he smells the two main two fucking, and he's just like, woo.
They do.
And it was just constantly weird, like Ric Flair woos instead of howls throughout this movie.
Right?
I did like the breathing in that one young girl to make her young again. I thought that was cool. But like the weird. But I was taking a big notice at like the surrounding people, and like all their outfits were really dumb. There was just like some weird, like doughy fucking 45-year-old guys with like weird leather bracelets on, standing there all schlubby, holding like a fake.
Hey,
ass.
listen, they only have
with
so much
Sybil
at the
Danning?
dominatrix store.
What was with Sybil Danning's like cloak that she would move it to the side and you'd have all this glowing red CGI?
Weird
But I guess
werewolf
pre
powers.
CGI. Okay, all right, fair enough.
I like
Steve
her.
told you she was
Thank
a Sith.
Yeah.
Okay,
she was
thanks
a
for
Sith
explaining
Lord.
it.
Darth Sybil.
Oh, I like
But-
that idea.
Her outfit, that black and gold one, is iconic.
Yes.
Christopher Lee, I don't care how bad the movie is, that guy's gonna lay
Chew
some
up the scenery?
credibility to. He's gonna lay some kind of credibility to it, in my opinion. Just the way he was
He-
delivering
he-
his lines.
He acted
was in
the
a
way he
different-
always does.
Yeah,
He
Very
was
good.
he was acting in a different movie than everybody else.
Yeah, he doesn't phone it in.
Like I'm actually kind of glad they didn't have him in very many scenes. Like he did a lot of talking around people, but not with people.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and the one time he did that would stand out was like at the grave or at the funeral with the
Yes,
girl from the first
yes.
movie, and he's talking to her brother out in the front, and her brother's like, "Would you get out of here and take a hike?" And like his acting is so fucking bad, and like Christopher Lee's just standing there looking at him like, ugh. Like, you could just see it in his face. And like Christopher Lee did better acting in looking and walking away than that guy did in his whole
Yeah,
monologue.
fair
It was
enough.
fantastic.
Fair enough, man.
And I didn't like how other hot werewolf chick, she just gets stabbed at the end. She doesn't put up no fight.
I know.
And they
all
say
the
she's
sunglasses
one of the
and
most
Rover
dangerous
wearing
werewolves that there
sunglasses.
are.
Yeah.
And Christopher Lee just takes his little titanium, because some werewolves are immune to silver. He takes his titanium blade and just stabs her, and that's it.
That's it.
And she's like, "Oh no, you found the one other medal." Ah. And then he like hugs the other one to death, and they both catch on fire. He's like, "You're gonna burn, bitch," and she's like, "You are too, motherfucker."
Oh, because
I
they're
thought that was
supposed to be brother and sister.
Yeah, weird. But I'm like, she was super old, and she's done this more than once. So like, if they're brother and sister, then that means he's probably done this too, because they were talking like she's done this several times.
Well, they were talking like they were fucking back in the day.
Yeah.
She just kept saying, "You never could resist me, Stefan."
Yeah.
I was like, "You were fucking his sister."
Well, I mean,
times were
still
different
dating.
1,000 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? And if it was 1,000 years ago when times was different and your sister looked like that, come on now, dog. You know,
So
the nearest woman's like 400 miles away on horseback through the fucking treacherous ass.
So
times.
what is he?
He's Stefan,
Is
werewolf hunter.
I'm more curious about what the fuck was living on the end of her staff that went after that one priest.
Oh,
went in his mouth.
Did it fuck him in his mouth?
I mean, it did something.
Something like that, yeah.
Because
And
it
it went
took
all
its
the way
tail.
in there.
It took its tail and face fucked him.
It did the
Like
face hugger
Alien.
move.
Like
And then it went
Alien.
That
all
was
the
his
way
tail.
in. Remember, it came out at the end. It was like hiding in there. It came out at the end like, ah! Like,
Yeah.
Gross.
This movie's
But still,
fucking wild,
you know
dude.
what? You know what? None of that shit is werewolves. Not a one of it.
That's a good point.
Not a one of it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
They kind of turn. I think it's like you just see people with patches of hair, and then there's a shot of some people running through the grass at night that look hairy. I think.
This was werewolf adjacent, because like I
Yeah.
said, somebody would partially turn and then it would just go woo.
And then like I didn't understand the brother and that other reporter. They go to the
Claire.
hotel. And they're like, one room? And he's like, no, two
Yeah.
rooms. And she's like, one room is fine. And I'm like, come on, dude. And then he gets to the room and he's like, we need to leave. And she's like, would you sit down? And he's like, no,
Yeah,
we have this to do.
sit
She's like,
down
would you
while I
hold me?
fuck you.
And then they start getting at it. I'm like, she has to beat you over the head with this shit. I'm like,
No
would you
shit,
just,
what a dumbass, huh?
golly, flew halfway around the world and you still can't fucking think straight.
Although then they go right back out into the town where everybody is dancing 24/7, and
Oh,
he's
and
like,
then he loses
"Hey,
her.
yeah, he's like, hey, home dude, watch her for a minute. I'll be back." I'm like,
The
you don't know
creepy
who this
bellhop
guy
guy.
is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy her a gift. But then he comes back, no gift. Where's the lady? Oh, that one guy totally took her up the mountain to rape her because you're dumb for leaving her with a fucking townie.
And she's like,
know?
"Oh yeah,
Funny.
okay, makes sense. Let's go." All right, Lance, what'd you think?
I was 10 minutes into this thing and I was like, what in the fuck did you fucking assholes make me watch? Because that first Howling movie, it's almost a masterpiece, right? Like I said, it's my second favorite vampire. It's my second favorite werewolf movie now, for sure. I love the original Howling. But as the movie went on, and as they got toward Eastern Europe, and as you got into these weird cult, fucking bizarre, like, I mean, you guys know that I love movies having to do with, the woods and the old country,
Yeah,
and stuff like that. I'm starting to be sucked into this movie a little bit. Slowly but surely, I'm starting to be sucked in, and then I see those wonderful tits, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm totally in now. And then it's like, you guys are lowering a mask onto me and making me like go under into this weird, bizarre drug that you're feeding me while I'm watching The Howling 2. And I don't know, something funny happens 30 minutes into this movie, and I'm a complete fan. I fucking loved it. I love the midget that was throwing knives and like part of the deal. I fucking love the bizarre werewolf characters. I love Sybil Danning from start to finish. I love the fetishes. I love the orgy where people were wearing leather and just fucking. I love the weird fucking designs where the werewolves looked more like monkeys than werewolves, except for the face. Something about this movie just totally got me, pulled me in, and just sucked the life out of me. Because I absolutely love The Howling 2 for completely different reasons than I love the original one.
So bad it's good.
Let me put it to you this way. This is one of the few movies that we've done for the podcast that I watched, and then the second night I watched it again just to see all the fun stuff I missed. And Christopher Lee hamming it up. Yeah. Oh my God. And why were they wearing sunglasses? It made no fucking sense.
You just kept them on too. I was like, man.
Look, this is why I keep accidentally saying vampires. It was like a vampire mythology. They were in Transylvania, for fuck's sake. But it was werewolves.
Yeah. It's like, you need to go with me to Transylvania to kill the werewolves. You're like,
oh my God,
okay.
This totally fucked
I'm
my head
in too.
Finish.
Like,
I loved it.
Could you imagine having the financial freedom to just be like standing there when somebody's like, we're going on an adventure, and be like, I'm in. Yep. And then you just go like the next day you're in Transylvania fighting werewolves and shit. You're like, I got to go back to work on Monday, but like, this is fucking awesome.
I was so worried that I was going to hate this because it was going to be a garbage fest. But like I said, 15 to 20 to 30 minutes in, I was so into this movie and just loving all the over the top shit. My score may be better than The Howling for this. It won't be, but it's so bad it's good. Why was this movie not on our March Madness, Brian? Why is this not seen as one of the classics of so bad it's good?
I had nothing to do with picking none of the.
Well, because it reminds me a lot of like Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Okay, go on. Yes, there's a lot of Rock and Roll Nightmare in here, Philip. Yeah. Your turn. Let's go.
But yeah, and that's where I land with this movie. Also, it's so bad that it's good. It is totally wacky. Nothing makes a whole lot of sense. But by the time the werewolves were rolling around in bed and like sort of having sex and kind of just going. I was dying, and I had a pretty good time with it, man.
But there's scenes too where like there's like somebody will do something and it'll cut to like a werewolf like in the background watching, and they're just like,
I know,
like against the wall, like, like why are you doing
so
that?
creepy, right? So fucking creepy.
But like there's no teeth or fangs or anything. It's just a person doing that.
Oh,
a lot of those. I think one of them had a weird little chat, like a on the way out.
Do it not like a wolf would howl. They do it just like Brian just did it. Like they'll be like standing there, like all quiet, like ooh, like
yeah. Like I said, that scene when Steve was talking about the guy and the girl finally fucked in the hotel room. The one main wolf guy, he's just like sniffing in there,
outside.
And he goes, woo.
He knew about it, man. None of them sounded like werewolves at all. And these crazy gypsies that are just dancing around the whole fucking time. Like, they never stop dancing. I'm like, what do they do in this city?
Yeah,
it's like just a city full of werewolves.
It's like folk horror, right? It's like folk horror.
Sense, right? It's like a city full of werewolves, and they all just dance all the time. But yeah, no, I had a great time with it. It was bonkers from start to finish.
They say weird shit too. Like I couldn't believe they were like, all right, you brother, go with this midget guy, and you're gonna go infiltrate this shit and like do like a kill mission. And you're like, what? And the midget guy starts taking people out, and like the brother is nonchalant about it. He's like, well, that's a new way to kill someone. And I'm like, you're just cool with this shit? Like, you're just like cool with just killing people and shit?
Like he knew this guy was a midget assassin.
He does have his moments, as bad at acting as he was. When it's time to kill some werewolves, he is firing from the hip, just bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
But like when the lady starts chanting and making everybody turn into werewolves and like hurting everybody else's ears, and then midget's running, and I can't believe he was keeping up with that brother pretty good. You know what I mean? Like the brother was booking it, and that man was keeping up with him. Like he was running his ass off, but then he trips or whatever, and the earplugs come out, and he's like, "Go! You gotta get out of here! Run!
I lost my earplug.
I can't move." But then, as soon as the brother gets up after 2 minutes of sitting there going like, "Huh? What do you mean?" Then he fucking leaves, and then the midget gets up and runs away. I'm like, you could have just done that 2 minutes ago. Got the fuck up and kept running. But now you wasted all this time, and now she's on your ass, and now your eyes are gonna go pop.
Yeah, that was a weird werewolf power, but a great scene, I thought, with the eyes exploding. I mean, that was
a cool practical effect.
Yeah.
I like that, and I like the weird thing with the monster at the end going into the practical head of the priest.
Yeah.
It looks.
Yeah, I just sort of made a face when that happened. I was like, is that?
Oh yeah, dude, and then the priest's eyes like roll in the back of his head. I was like,
is he fucking that bear? All right. Scores, Steve. What do you think?
I'm gonna give this one a 5.
Okay.
4. 4 on 10. 4 on 10. 4 on 10.
That was my original score 15 minutes in.
4 on 10. I'm giving this.
It changed though.
Brian, you gonna bring us up?
Hell yeah, this is an easy 8 on 10.
No way.
Steve, remember the whole end credits?
The end credits was I've
6
never.
On 10.
There you go.
Even when they have
6 on 10. The end
scenes,
credits brought it up to 6 on 10. 6 on 10.
Even when they have like after credit scenes in Marvel movies, at this point, I don't always stick around. I watch this whole one.
Oh yeah.
Because Steve, you brought up how good they edited it, like the old guy that licks his lips, and then it's just her tearing her top off. All
you know what? It's true. The editing was shit throughout the whole movie, but they fucking nailed it in the credits, man.
Good
pinpoint accuracy.
Shit editing. Yeah.
Lance?
7.5.
7.5. All right.
Yes. Great movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give this one an 8 too. I thought it was hilarious, man. It was just I had a really good time with it. All right. Any last words?
Right.
You guys just wait till we get to the next couple.
I'm excited about the marsupial one now.
So how many?
Sounds gross.
How many
probably.
are in the list? How many?
There
what
is-
do we got here?
To look forward to?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Four episodes. Maybe we can get Al on one, Brian.
Yeah.
As
Most of them-
always.
Most of them
As
look like they're on
always,
Tubi.
we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. We would love to hear your feedback and ideas. You can always reach us at thehorrorreturns@gmail.com. You can find us at thehorrorreturns.com and follow all of our social media from there. Next week, we're going to go back to the theater for The Monkey, and also check out 2013's The Monkey's Paw. What is that, Brian?
It's a movie.
I think I remember that one.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
First watch for me. Brian's not saying anything, so what is The Monkey's Paw?
It's a movie about a monkey's paw.
It's like
So-
it's like Wishmaster. You
Be
know,
careful what you wish for.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So, Steve, until The Horror Returns again.
Good night.